I
Yeah.
don't care. I honestly don't care. I'm a man enough. But at that point, I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, what the heck is going on? This is pretty much my only sponsor, what I have. I
Yeah.
have been loyal for those guys for like since 15 years old. You know, that's like,
So that
what
happened.
the
That
heck?
happened. That happened after like you were already on DC at that point.
No, no, I already came back to Finland, and I think
Uh.
Spitfire was one of the few ones that was still with me. And I was like for
Uh.
life with those guys, you know?
Yeah. So you got on the firm first, and then you already were on Spitfire since you were 15. But you got them. You got on Spitfire in the States too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they weren't sending you stuff in Finland when you were a kid.
Oh, they were.
They already knew about you.
Oh yeah, they were sending me stuff after I met them when I was 15 in
Yeah.
Deluxe and showed my sponsor me tape. And all those guys, Mickey Reyes and all those guys, they're like, oh, we need to get this guy right for the real before the flip guys are gonna get this guy. They're gonna sponsor this guy. They
Yeah.
thought that I'm gonna ride for flip, and
Yeah.
they wanted me to ride for real.
Okay. All right.
But I couldn't because the boards were so steep and I was used to the flip boards.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I can't even ride real boards either, but I have friends that do and say they're good. I don't understand how, but I
I have
can't.
good pop, but they are too steep for my taste.
Yeah. No, but that happens sometimes. Boards are always like you get used to them, and then you just feel like another board is like super weird and foreign, you know. But yeah,
Yeah.
happens. No, right on. So okay, you got on first on to firm, and that was what you just told me about the trade show, and they saw you skating.
No, first Spitfire, man. The first trip was to San Francisco, man.
Okay. And there's a video
And
for that
we
somewhere.
knew one guy from Deluxe, and we were staying at his house. And then we went to Spitfire, and the homie was working at the warehouse, and he showed the sponsor meet tape for the guys.
Hmm. All right. So then there's a video though of that you just went to SF for just like a random filming tour, or you guys like made a tour video for that? Are
No,
there
no,
no?
I was just filming stuff. I actually have it in my Insta right now. My homie sent it after 20 years. I didn't even know he had all those footage.
Oh, okay, nice. No, I was gonna. Only reason I'm saying that is so people can go look up like not never before or videos that are harder to find that nobody remembers and that kind of shit. I'm sure you got some recommendations like to look up from those
Yeah,
times. No, you just post them on your Instagram, or they're not on YouTube
yeah,
or
I
anything.
just posted them, but I can send you a link on those or send you the clips, whatever.
Yeah, I'll put the links in all the description for sure. All right, so
Oh, but
then so you're on the firm. I remember I saw the firm video, and yeah, of course, I was a big fan at that time. But that's all it was really. I just luckily I never got sponsored. I mean, not saying luckily because it taught me how to not rely on skateboarding for anything, but just a good time, you know. But I
yeah,
always because it's hard. It's a hard thing. Like, well, go ahead and tell your story. Yeah, when did you first come to the U.S. and like how did that all start? You were so Arto was the first one to like break through, or how did that? Go ahead and explain it yourself.
yeah, it was pretty much Arto made it out there, and then I was looking for some sponsors. But my whole point was how I got that all that traveling and everything started was my grandpa bought me a stock when I was born from Helsinki Puhelinyhtiö. It's like Helsinki City Phone Company. And then when I was 15, I sold the stock when my grandpa bought me for like 20 euros. I sold it for like 5 to 6,000. So with that money, I went to the States with other older dudes from Finland, distributor guys and stuff. And then we went to meet Arto after. And Arto gave me a chance to stay at his house and film some stuff because he saw that I was doing good and I have like a reason to be there. So
Yeah, but
little did I know, I checked this out. Um, Arto wanted to help me, and he showed the sponsor me tape for the. We actually went to the flip office where was the firm office too, Blitz Distribution, and they were watching Billy Marks sponsor me tape. All the flip owners and Lance, and then Arto is like, "Hey, check out this guy's footage. It's pretty good stuff. Like, what do you guys think?"
Yeah.
And then they were just watching Billy Mark's part, like the sponsor me tape.
Yeah.
And then they looked at my stuff and they're like, no, we just take the guy who's doing like handrails and more caps. Like
Yeah.
I was doing a little bit more technical stuff at the time,
What year
whatever,
was that?
stairs and rails, but like picnic tables and whatever.
You know what year that was?
I don't remember, dude. It's been almost what over 20 years, so I don't remember exact year.
Yeah,
But
but
it was
about
at the yeah,
right.
it was in the same time I think when Appleyard got on the flip, something like that.
All right. No, because that makes sense.
And
About 20 years ago, it makes sense because wait, you're saying that they were looking at Billy Marks' sponsor me tape?
yeah,
Yeah, because Billy Marks is like from a city that's like 30 minutes from my city. He's from
yeah,
Corona.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
from
I know.
Yeah, and I knew Billy Marks and Tony Silva, and they had this team. I forgot the name exactly, but they had put out a little like crew video of their crew, and we had seen their crew video, and that he was already a beast. He was like he had the last part in the crew video where he was
Yeah,
kickflipping over like big ass like double set handrails and doing all the rail tricks. Of course, he learned all those
yeah,
tricks.
yeah, for
Learned all
sure.
those tricks on the Corona 6 rail. That's still there. The park rail is there. But anyway, that was a
Yeah,
long time ago. But I was a little kid. That was 20 years ago. So I wasn't even that good. So I was just like, just somehow we had able to get their video because I know Tony Silva had a part and
yeah,
Billy Marks, and can't remember
yeah.
the other guys. But yeah,
So we were checking out his sponsor me tape and my sponsor me tape, and the flip guys and Lance they just told like, no, we're gonna take Billy. And I'm like, okay, rad, whatever. I keep going.
yeah,
And then I went to the trade show, and I think it was in Anaheim or something like that. I'm not sure, but in LA somewhere.
yeah,
And I entered the contest. And after that, Lance came up to me, dude, I really want you to write for the firm and blah, 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 blah. And that was it. I got on.
yeah, dude.
Like he needed to see me skate live.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah, yeah,
like sponsor me was nothing. But
yeah,
when he saw me skate live at that comp with all the other dudes, pros and Appleyard
yeah, yeah,
skateboarding super good and everybody else.
yeah. No, I mean it
At
must have
that
made
time, there was not too many amps at that time. It was pretty much like Billy and me and a couple other dudes.
Yeah, no, I remember the firm video too. That's crazy. No, because at that time, like I said, I was just a random dude. You came one time to the school by my house and you switch heel flipped the Coyote Canyon. When they cut the rails off of at Coyote Canyon,
Yeah,
there was
yeah,
like a 5 block. You switch heeled it.
yeah, for the Transworld movie.
Yeah, and Daryl Stanton was there with you. I think that was in like maybe yeah, you're right, Transworld or like some kind of digital video or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe both of those filmers were there, but
Yeah, that was early
I remember
2000s.
Daryl. Daryl had a good vibe at that moment for sure.
Yeah.
And I really don't know what happened to Daryl either. I think he's always been killing it, dude. He's super good skater.
No, that yeah, I
But
checked him out.
I can see if you get banned from like Trasher and
Oh
like
yeah.
from Deluxe, what kind of happened to me with the Spitfire for no reason. It seems like nobody even talks to you, even if you say hi to like Gabe Morford or say something good about his photo or say something good about Playback's photo from DC photographer. They never even like your comment. They're like ignorant. They're like, you're done.
Yeah.
I'm just so nose up or egoed out. And I don't even say like put a like. You don't even have to freaking comment whatever. But if somebody's hyped on the photo, no matter if it's like your ex-colleague or whoever, have some respect. You've been working with the man before in his life.
Yeah.
Because I have mad respect for everybody who I have been working with, you know?
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say about Daryl that I found his profile like a couple months ago and I was curious, like, whoa, it's Daryl Stanton, no way. And I checked his profile out and he was still like he's skating warehouses, he's skating like some random stuff, and he's still pretty good. But yeah, like you just said right now, the skateboarding industry is super it's super fake, man. Like they use people real bad, and they
Hey,
obviously have.
skateboarding brotherhood.
Yeah, well,
What
it's
the fuck is that? They wanna try to end your career and send you under the bridge.
oh yeah,
is
and
that
that's
is that brotherhood?
well, like Gabe Morford, I think that dude is like over 50 now. Maybe he's like 60 or something, right? He's real old, isn't he?
Yeah, but there are still awesome dudes who have been working. Joe
No, but
Brook, Joe
yeah, I know
John
Joe.
Humphreys, Atiba, all those guys are real. They still can like your comment or whatever. It's not like they think they respect you as a like as a person,
You said
like
Balbec
everybody
too.
should. We are. It's only our talent on top of the board. We are not the fucking board. We are
Yeah,
not the wheels. We are not the bearings. We are not the bolts.
yeah,
We are the artist using the tool.
yeah,
You know.
exactly.
So
Hmm.
why would the pencil get more thanks than the
Yeah,
person who's using it? Because if there's only a pencil, it's not
yeah,
doing its work.
yeah,
You
exactly.
need an artist,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. And each
Or
person's
then
style.
you can have one of those robot skaters.
Well, now that's basically what Paul Rodriguez was talking about. You know what I mean? Those like contest guys, I guess. But I would say like also what you just said, like the names that you mentioned. I was gonna say that those guys like were around during like the 80s and like the 70s and maybe the 80s, 70s probably. Gabe Morford was around in the 70s. So the point is like they're all about that like vert or something. You know what I mean? So it's for them.
No, but no, I don't think so. When I was skateboarding with Gabe, I thought he's super brother, man. He was one of the nicest guy. Like
Okay.
he always was down to shoot photos, but that was also I was riding for Spitfire.
Yeah.
But that hasn't changed my person. Do I ride with the Spitfire or not, dude?
Mm.
You
No,
know
no,
what I
no.
mean?
So, yeah, no, no, I absolutely, I know personally, but it's like for me, I'm like a fan myself, and maybe like that's what I was trying to say. That maybe they're a fan of like vert. Sometimes that's what happens, or like they only like vert, you know. But like somehow they stayed around in the industry throughout the whole street years too. So they had to shoot good photos, you know. So they have to be
Yeah,
interesting.
for sure, for sure. But on the end, it's gonna be I don't know. I don't know. How
Yeah.
would I say that? It's kind of soulless, like no soul, just working like everybody else does in the Matrix.
No, but I think those guys like what we were saying earlier that they canceled you in a way, right? And they don't
Yeah,
they take it they those guys are I've noticed that's what I'm trying to say that you can just like they can just cancel people because the industry is so fake and they don't even go on their own to ask you a question and be like, "Hey Yanni, what is everyone saying about you?" They just believe everyone else, you know what I mean?
yeah, like distributors or who whatsoever. This
Yeah.
was the most stupidest thing. I lost the Spitfire sponsorship.
What
It
was
was
that about?
that was some bullshit. Like I got the sponsor when I was 15. That was my first sponsor in the States, like a real sponsor, you know.
Yeah.
And I made a deal with the Spitfire in the States. There's one skate shop called Lamina, and they were bringing Spitfire stuff to Finland.
Hmm.
So they told me I can go for the skate shop and get the stuff from there, and whenever they send stuff, they reimburse for that company, so they don't have to send me a separated package, what gets way more expensive, and that makes sense.
Hmm.
So I went to the Lamina skate shop or whatever, and I asked the guys like, "Hey, what up? I take I take some wheels and some Spitfire T-shirts and a couple hoodies," and they're like, "Yeah, all right." So so then I asked in the shop, so which ones are the stuff you guys don't need, like kind of older stuff because they're getting the new stuff in soon, so I don't
Yeah.
take any of their new stuff. I was super nice, you know.
Yeah.
So I took probably 4 sets of wheels, couple t-shirts, or 4 or 5 sets of wheels, couple t-shirts, maybe one hoodie,
Yeah.
whatsoever. And then I heard that the Lamina guys were saying that I'm taking so much stuff without asking and just coming in like a playboy. You know what I mean? Like complete bullshit. And little did I know, no more Spitfire. I was blown away and nobody even asked me nothing.
Yeah.
The American guys didn't even ask me.
Yeah. Well, that sucks.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of like, then after when I asked the guys in Lamina too, they're like, "Oh, that was understanding with the workers and the ding 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 ding." But that misunderstanding, whatever.
So what happened after that? You got on DC? How did that happen?
No, I didn't get. Actually, I didn't get on DC at that point. It was just I was writing for the firm, and Lance put me on, I think, Adidas,
Okay.
and then all of a sudden I was writing for Xavier, or was
Oh,
Xavier before? No, I was writing for Adidas at the firm video, and after that I got on Xavier
yep. That was
with
like
Brian
that was like
Anderson,
A Nike company, right?
Brian Steba, and Stefan Janowski.
Yeah, but that was a Nike company, right?
Yeah,
Secretly, it was Nike because I know Brian Anderson was on it. You just said Brad Staba. Who else?
Jose Rojo and Stefan Janowski.
Stephen Janowski. All
Pretty
right.
solid team. I don't know how Jose creeped in.
Yeah.
Caswell was super humble always. Caswell was the nicest guy for everybody always.
Yeah.
Caswell never had that kind of thing.
Yeah, he was there too in the Momentum Wheels tour. That's probably how Jose Rojo got there on that. Momentum Wheels came to Peru and they filmed a video, and I was like always there when they were skating because my homies would tell me where they were. So I'd be like,
Yeah. Yeah. So
oh,
I was actually living with Jose too for 3.5 years, so I know him well.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Well, I mean, yeah, he like he was yeah, just like the whole Enjoy team. I used to love that Tilt Mode Army video stuff from San Jose. Tilt Mode Army. I don't know if you remember those
Yeah,
guys.
that was nice time. I thought that was the time when
That was the
the
best
boys
time.
had actually the feet on the ground, and nobody wanted to be the main mini boss of anyone of the whole crew, you know. And then I
Yeah,
think all the shit just turned around when Louis got to the team manager position on Enjoy, and I wanted to go meet those dudes in San Jose. I haven't seen those guys for years, 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 years. I don't even remember when. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I let everybody know that I'm going by San Jose since I'm on the mountains over there.
yeah,
And I was expecting that everybody's there to say hi at least, have maybe one beer, play some poker, smoke some, you know, the
yeah,
normal skate life. And then I let everybody know, and I show up to the house, and nobody was there.
yeah.
It was like nobody, not one. Everybody just left from there that they don't need to meet me.
Hmm. Do
And then
you?
there was one roommate who doesn't really skate, or he's not into the skate industry. He's like, Jani, it's not the same like it used to be. I'm like,
Yeah,
what you mean, man? He's like, nobody's gonna come meet you. I'm like,
yeah,
why? What have I done for the people?
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And then he's like, Louis told the guys not to come meet you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, what?
Shit.
What the fuck? I haven't seen the fools for like over 5 years, and
Yeah,
somebody's pretty much telling them that they get kicked off from the team if they come to meet me. I'm like,
dude.
what the fuck? But I have a really good story about this. You know how universe makes everything happen.
Yeah,
So
let's go.
I was a little bit heartbroken. Like, dude, I love you guys. I really love all the dudes. You know, how can they do this for me? You know?
Yeah,
So I planned that I'm gonna spend the night since I drove from far away to San Jose already.
yeah,
And I was just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna drive back to LA, you know? And I started driving, and I got so tired after the mountain, you know, after the five,
yeah,
after the big mountain. And I just stopped on the gas station and took my sleeping bag and slept in the car. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
fuck this. I need to sleep in the car.
yeah,
And check this out. Next day, I go to my motel, whatever, and I'm so pissed off. I still can't believe that that happened the other day, right? Or a
yeah,
couple days later. Maybe it was like 2 days later. I'm still thinking, and then I wake up in the morning, and the cashier guy was talking shit about something. I asked something about parking or something, and that dude was super rude, and I kind of left the place like, what the fuck, that kind of feeling. And I'm
yeah,
still thinking about the guys. How could they do that shit for me? I love the guys.
yeah,
So I start driving my car, or it was not mine, but somebody lent me that car for my stay when I was staying there. And I drove down the street, and believe me, the whole Enjoy team was skating down the street. I was so pissed off. I pulled the car to the parking lot, and I was ready to whoop everybody's ass, dude. Like Jose, one of my best friends, he didn't come see me. I see him skating there. I see
yeah,
Louis, I see Cairo, I see all the amps, everything. So I jump out of the car. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I'm gonna punch your fuck face right now, big Mexican guy, Hoser. You
yeah,
motherfucker. You don't even come say hi to your roommate,
yeah, yeah,
after
yeah,
many years of knowing me and being my friend, you know?
yeah,
And he's just like, so shocked because he felt that I'm so fucking mad. Of course,
yeah,
dude. If somebody who I have been living with for like 3.5 years and being my brother don't even come say hi or have one beer or whatever, just give me a hug. That's fine. I can leave your town, but good to see you.
yeah,
So he's just shocked. He's just like, oh, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna beat your ass. You pussy. And then he was so shocked and scared, I couldn't even do anything. I just felt like his legs gave out. He was so scared.
yeah.
And then
But
I see Louis. I'm like, that's the next dude I'm gonna get, the main
yeah,
motherfucker.
yeah, yeah,
So I go like after Louis. I see him at the Enjoy van. I go after him to ask like, what the fuck? Why you turn all my homies against me?
yeah.
And he ran away, dude. He ran from the session. He left all the guys. He left the car. I go to the car and I ask Cairo, where the fuck did Louis go? I just saw him here. I have something to say to Louis. I can't wait. And Cairo is like, oh, I think he just ran away. I think he's scared or whatever. I'm just like, then I said, like, mad respect for Cairo Foster. He was laughing in the car because he sensed the situation. For sure, he's been listening how much shit they've been talking about me coming
Yeah,
to San Jose to try to say hi. And little
yeah,
did they know I'm gonna meet them 2 days after. So
yeah,
in my mind, they thought that I'm so maniac, like mentally not case, that I have followed them for 2 days. Because what are the chances? They're skating a spot and I just, drive by.
yeah, 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 yeah. Well, that happens. That happens a lot, actually. Yeah, but you're right. No, no, no. The seeing people in the street like other pros, I don't know. You always run into people. But yeah, that's
So
hilarious.
when I saw Castle, I'm like, dude, thanks for being real. He's
Yeah,
like, hey, Jani, how are you? Da, 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 da. Oh, like it was before.
yeah.
And
No,
I was
yeah,
just, but I'm happy I didn't do anything. I would not, but I would for sure. I would say like couple tough words and like, show front of the team. Like if you're ready to talk so much shit, face it with me. If
yeah,
you're man enough to be a bitch behind my back and not
yeah,
to let anybody to come meet me,
yeah,
and I love all those dudes. I don't care if you hate me or not, but I love you guys.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, that's some coward shit, dude.
I'm sure after that, everybody knew who was the bitch.
Yeah. No, well, like I said, one of my friends quit pizza skateboards because he told me he's like, bro, Nija and Jace Webb raped a chick or something, and I was like, so that's why you left pizza skateboards? And he's like, yeah, I'm getting on Enjoy now, and he got on Enjoy recently. I guess they went. I didn't know they went out of business. That was like last
Yeah.
year too. Yeah, but that was the reason he went over there because he's like, all these guys, they're like, I don't know what's wrong with them, man. They all have like some kind of weird like cancel thing. Like they cancel people in their minds, and they all kind of like
I
guess it.
think they play with the witchcraft, dude.
Well, they're all
I think
liberals,
they
dude.
really play with the witchcraft. And in front of the Enjoy house, they had that big tree, and they do some.
Yeah,
I felt like, when you feel nature, you feel good. But there was a
yeah,
big tree in front of their, mansion, and still is where all the guys are living. I don't know what they do with that tree. That tree, it's just like when I walk by that tree, it's just like tastes like blood in my mouth.
yeah.
So it
Well,
must be like a witchcraft tree. And that's it. Who believes? Who doesn't? I don't care, but I sense that shit that there was some wicked shit going on that house.
yeah. No, I'm always surprised to find out. I was surprised to find out that Louis was the team manager. And if you watch him skate, you don't really expect him to be that kind of person, but
No,
that's
he
what,
wasn't before, but then he had the chance.
yeah. And then they become
And
something else.
then he changed even more. Louis was super nice for me always. And then one time, after all the years of skating with me, he got hurt on the fakie flip with the. We were skating in Sacramento, and I was filming him, and Chef Landy was shooting a photo of him, and I think he was trying fakie flip down the gap, and he got hurt. And
Yeah.
since that day, he didn't want to skate with me.
Oh
And I'm
shit.
like, that's not my freaking fault, dude. It's like, if you have some shit Duff's shoes whatsoever, don't blame on me, dude. Like, fuck off.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, that ties into the witchcraft thing because he's probably like a lot of skaters are super superstitious or whatever, and they think like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
if you done some shit on me and, God turns it around on you,
Yeah.
then you know that you had bad intentions on me. And if God got him after that, well, it's not my fault.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so this was years later though, after you'd already left the US and you came back to visit, and how many years had passed by when you hadn't been there?
Probably 5 or 6 or 7. It was a long time.
All right. So this is like so this is like okay, so tell a reason like why do they think why do they act like this? Like what did you get drunk or do something like that that they all like talk to each other? Because that's what I mean. They all talk to each other and they all cancel people behind their backs. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
in so why do you think from their like perspective?
I wanted to ask them that
Yeah.
because there was no reason. All I have been giving is my help, my home in Finland for Louis for
Yeah,
weeks and weeks.
but
Barcelona, I rented a place and I let him and Haslam stay for free for months. Like, come on, dude, you just don't do that for me. Or if you do, at least don't run away,
yeah.
right?
No, I know.
If you do that for me, you need to have a good reason and tell that to my face, and I can understand that I fucked up. But if I haven't
Yeah.
said anything bad of all those guys, never ever until that shit happened,
Yeah.
then fuck off, get out of my life, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And if
Um
people would know how much I filmed that dude, help him with the footage, let him stay in Europe at my place. I got him sponsored by the skate shop in Finland, and they were paying him 1,000 a month for 2 years.
Louis?
What did Louis do for me? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And I was not even expecting, but minimum be my friend.
Well, go back in time though. So let's go back to like 2000. What year did you get on DC? And then later on, you met Jose. And when did you guys first become roommates? Because that would probably
No,
help a
that
little.
was way before. That was like the blind time when I got on the blind after the digital part.
Okay. Yeah. So you got
Yeah. Then I moved to San Jose. Or
so
actually,
yeah.
I was filming. I was filming. I was already living in San Jose. So right after the firm, I moved to San Jose,
Okay. So yeah, that
and I
helps
lived
people.
with Jose
That
and
helps.
his wife
No, that
for
helps
three and a
people.
half years.
that'll help people understand the timeline. So you got on the firm, you guys made the firm video, and then you got on like you said, you moved to San Jose, and
Yeah,
you were on what, Spitfire and firm.
Spitfire, blind, and I didn't get. I got some shoes from '88. Just flow. They just gave me shoes,
Yeah.
but then I got on DC Europe.
And this is wait, you're living in Europe when you got on DC Europe, or you got on there, or you're
No,
just going.
I was living in States already, but
Okay.
I was riding for DC Europe. Like I
Oh,
got on DC Europe after I already made it in the States.
okay. Yeah.
And then they promised me to put me on the DC US.
Okay.
And they actually organized this whole fake happening to announce my colorway shoe and everything, and a big meeting with all the European distributors of the DC and the whole DC team at the time, you know.
Yeah.
And I went for that meeting, and I met the CEO for DC, and he was there. Like, congratulations, Jani! Everybody clapped. It was like a huge fake party. They made a fake party, and everybody clapped on me. Like, you're the
Um,
first guy who got on the US team, and this was in France, I think in San Sebastian, where the party was. You
all
know,
right, and then Jimmy
in the
Asterfield
headquarters of DC Europe.
and Jimmy Asterfield was the team manager already. Jimmy Asterfield, you don't know who that is? That's okay if you
I
don't.
know. I was living with him too.
Yeah, yeah, no. My friends were on DC Peru, so I don't know how I figured this all
So
out.
it
But
was me, and then it was like I see the face of the guy, but I don't remember his name right now.
so during the
But
time,
Jimmy and a friend of Colin McKay and Danny Way. He was super nice guy. I liked him.
so this is during like like from like 04, 03 to like 07, 08 or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, something like that until '09.
And during that whole time, you're flying back and forth from the US to Europe and back and forth, right? And you're
No,
staying like
I
filming.
lived in US. I just came to Europe for the summer.
Yeah, because most of your tricks and your video parts of that are all in the US, right? So I remember
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
So
And so
then I go back to the States after this huge party, and everybody from the whole Europe, everybody are clapping and saying like, okay, this is it. Like the first European guy made it to the US team,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I believed it because I worked so hard for it,
yeah,
many years. I worked so hard for it,
yeah.
no matter what. So, and I go to the States and I go ask the guys, hey guys, what's up? What's going on? And I remember Ruben told me, Yanni, you can get this and this amount in Europe for like 5 years. Are you sure you want to take the US deal? I'm like, yeah, I want to get the pro model shoe. That's my dream. I want to take the US deal. I don't care if it's a little bit less money than in Europe. So I go there and I ask the people in the US, like, okay, so when are we going to go shoot an ad and do all this? It was Sean Rogers was the team manager.
Okay.
Sean Rogers. So, anyways, I go ask the guys in the DC building in the US, like, okay, so when are we gonna shoot this ad and get me like announced on the team and everything? And nobody knew about what had happened in Europe.
Oh shit.
And I'm just like, oh, what? What's going on, guys? And they're like, oh, we haven't heard anything about that. I'm like, dude, the CEO of the sales and everything from US was there and was clapping at me and giving me a speech and
Yeah.
everything, drinks up and everything, all the European distributors, everybody was there celebrating with us. And I was just blown away, like, what the hell? Nobody knows about this here.
Yeah.
So I called Ruben from the telephone. I'm like, dude, you told me I have this option that I'm on the USDC team right now. He's like, I can't do anything anymore. I'm the team manager of the Europe team. Bye.
Yeah.
and that was it.
But you had told me a story too one time that like there was a year where you were winning all the contests or something and you were getting like a good
No,
contract.
I had 2-year contract from US, but they didn't give me a commercial. They didn't announce me on the team. So I was doing the jobs in Europe and in Brazil and
Yeah.
in US getting DC coverage, but they didn't give me an ad in US. But
Well,
after I worked, I had 2-year contract from US. So I didn't understand the whole point. To change, like to put me on the team should be super easy when I have the contract already going, right?
yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I made such a good job on that first year, and I made a bonus over $160,000 in that year. And I was ready to make the bonus again, you
Yeah.
know? And the guys got so shocked because they were not expecting that I can do the bonus. So they wanted to cancel my contracts, but they couldn't. So what they did, they didn't take me on any of the tours at all. And I went to visit, I just got a son in Brazil. My baby
Yeah.
boy just got born.
Yeah.
And I go visit him to see him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there comes a new team manager, Jefferson Pang, in town. You know, Supreme guy or whatever, New York, Josh Callis's best friend, bud buddy, I don't know what.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever.
It's always one of those guys. Yeah.
So he turns into be a team manager at the moment, and I'm just like, okay. So I go to the Brazil, and I have my work visa is running out. My work
Yeah.
visa is running out. Like all I need is to you to sign that I'm working for DC, that I can come back to the US. So he's like, yeah, for sure. I do that. I do, you know. So I trusted the guy. I'm like, okay. I go back to I go to Brazil just for a little vacation
Yeah.
and ready to work again. So the dude doesn't answer my emails or writes, yeah, I did it. Yeah, I did it. And he never did that. So I got stuck in Brazil for a little bit. And I got my own guys to do the visa. So I only thing what I needed him to do is to sign the paper that I write for DC. And he didn't do it. So it took me a couple months, and then I went back to the US, and Josh Galis, Jefferson Bang, and what was this one fool's name who was up there? I don't remember. Whatever. But those guys got me on the meeting. And I come there and I'm like, why you guys don't take me on the tour or send me shoes or anything? What's going on, guys? They're like, hey, you were gone so long that you're off the team. I'm like, I have 1-year contract still. What do you guys mean I'm off the team? Yeah, you're not part of the team anymore.
Damn.
Yeah, now I remember the guy. The third guy was Kelly McRath, something like that. Kelly McRath.
Okay.
So all of those guys are just telling me like how I haven't done my job. I just finished the interview for the biggest magazine in Brazil. 12
Yeah.
pages, the cover whatsoever. And went to
Yeah.
the DC tour for like every tour they had and every demo and everything what they did. And Brazil only has like 300 million people.
Yeah.
So it's a big commercial place too.
No, I know the Brazil team is maybe better or as good as the US team.
So check this out what they did for me. I still had that 1-year contract,
Yeah.
but they didn't give me shoes. I had to go and buy my own shoes that I don't break the contract.
Yeah. With the money they gave you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because otherwise they would sue me for millions.
Damn. That they do that. They do everybody dirty. That's the only thing I've ever learned about the skateboard industry. I don't know one friend
But
that's
I
like,
don't understand why people don't come up and tell the stories for the other people. I
yeah.
think all the true skaters and all the skateboarders who have been working hard and putting their
Their
sweat
life's
and
on the
tears
line.
into the game and giving their whole life since you're 15 to go to the other side of the world without internet, without bullshit, without none of that. You have $5,000 in your pocket and you need to make it in 3 months.
Yeah.
So how many kids when you are 15 are ready to go to the other side of the world? They can't even call their parents.
Yeah.
Email just got normal at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is that the respect for the treatment one deserves after sacrificing his own childhood life for the skateboarding brotherhood?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the skateboarding industry is like an Illuminati almost, dude. They're like,
It is exactly the same. It's run by the Coca-Cola and Freemason guys, you know,
no, there's a few skaters
bankers,
and there's
whatever.
a few skaters in there like Josh Callis, like you said. There's a few names like Rob Dyrdek or whatever, but Rob Dyrdek himself is like straight up mafia Illuminati guy himself. And Rob, I don't know about I was talking about Rob Dyrdek was like, yeah, because of his. I've heard that he's connected to some mafia and some Irish mafia in Boston. I'm not sure about
If
that.
you get a TV show big
Yeah.
time, you have to have some contacts.
Yeah, well, he did some kind of sacrifice for that shit. And but yeah, you know, you see like Stevie Williams and Josh Kalis, they still have shoes on the website. They're still selling. I don't know, but I've heard a lot of bad things about Josh Kalis. Like I've heard that I don't know, he did some crazy shit to like Wrecking Ball. He like copyrighted his logo and his name so he couldn't use it anymore. Those guys are kind of dirty, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, they're just
Who's Wrecking Ball? Who's this guy?
he's just some random guy that makes comedy, skateboarding comedy, and like some shit like that. But you
Oh,
know,
they sued him?
no, they're just mean, bro. They're like Illuminati, like you just said. They're like they have their lawyers. They like go behind his like yeah. No, they didn't sue him. They stole his logos. They copyrighted his logos so he couldn't use them anymore.
What?
Josh
So,
Kayla supposedly that's
so
a
all
rumor.
those guys are doing, they're just stealing the ideas and the tricks from other people. I bet Josh Kalis was so damn mad at me because I did that couple aerial backside nose blunt on the picnic table before I bet he could back nose blunt.
Yeah,
And
no, that's
Josh has been keeping that couple aerial back nose blunt like it's his trick. It's
yeah,
nobody's trick, but I made it first, Josh.
yeah,
On the nice spot. Maybe you did it on the little curb cut. Just
yeah,
pushing you
exactly.
on a little bit on your balls. You know, it's all love, Josh.
No, it is. It's not like that. I just like what you said. But I just think that it's like an Illuminati in a way because they like not an Illuminati, but it's like a mafia. Like they go behind. They do a lot of things like that where they blackball people from the industry. They all agree with each other. Like that person's a fucking weirdo. Don't fucking talk to him. Like you said earlier, all of your experience, I know it because
Yeah,
I understand it. You know what I mean? I've
yeah.
had it.
And everybody else should too, because this is gnarly stuff, you know? This is your life. You only have one chance. And there's like thousands of those guys who are ready to fuck you hard. Like take your life away, trying to take your dreams away, make you suffer when you have a kid, like all that kind of stuff. When if somebody has a kid, respect the man. He's just turning into dadhood and it's not easy. So don't give him extra shit, right?
Yeah, but they're like Hollywood, you know? They really are. They're like they shame people like all the skaters that have families are all the like the coolest ones that I know, like Mike Hasty or Ed Sluggo, or I can name like Pat Duffy, a lot of those dudes. They're all nice
Yeah,
dudes. They have a bunch of kids. But like
yeah.
but the point is like that's what a normal person would do when they get a little bit older. But they don't want that. They want to treat you like you're like some supermodel that's on the runway. And if you have any kind of like personal life, then yeah, it's just you don't care about your career. But they don't even pay you good. They give you no future. They give you no promises. And it's just basically using people. And like you said, like
Oh, they
Hollywood.
give you fake promises. They make a like that party DC set me up on San Sebastian.
Yeah.
Man, dude, that party must have cost like, man, I would say near million or more
Oh yeah.
to get all the distributor guys, to have everybody hotels, to make all this fake show, to make me believe
Yeah.
that this is actually happening.
I feel like those
And
guys do it.
everybody knew inside them except me that it's not going to happen. You understand?
Yeah. Well, supposedly, DC just got bought, and even Danny Way and Colin McKay don't have any control over it. Supposedly, I don't know if that's true, but
Nothing is true in this matrix.
well, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, the companies themselves are just whatever. They're just like images, and so that's what I'm saying. They used you as an image, and then they throw you out afterwards. They've done that to a bunch of my friends too,
Yeah,
and
that doesn't even matter. But be a man, have the right reasons for it, and don't put the hardest working man out. Like at that point,
or at least say it to his face, you know?
yeah, check this out. I had stacked pretty much like 2 video parts or full video part and like 3 interviews worth of photos. So why do I need to be there if there's no tours or no work for the team?
Yeah,
If I have unlimited, even if something would happen to me, I could not skate, I still could have my career for 3 years straight without skating a one day.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And then there are people who don't even have one photo and they never get kicked out. They can try to shoot that one photo for 10 years.
yeah. Exactly. The industry is fake, man. That's what I'm saying. It's like Hollywood. It really is just a mirror of Hollywood. Same thing. They use the models and then they throw them out. And the guys that are on top are always the most psychopathic predators. You know what I mean? Just the way it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, sucks.
dude, that was such a surprise for me. You know, all of that crap side of the skateboarding. But anyhow, I wouldn't take one day off of doing what I did, and with all that passion and love what I have had for all the people, skateboarding is just a tool for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
No, I
I don't
say the
know.
same. Yeah.
You know?
I was just gonna say that now in this day and age, right now, you can out now everything that you're saying is 100% like coming to light. Like what was it called? Like uh Deluxe Distribution in San Francisco is making like boards with guys naked spreading their buttholes on the board. Like they're drawing like weird gay porn boards. So what that shows is that those guys never had a backbone in the first place. Like how can they go and show kids these kind of images and go with this whole like I mean no matter how you put it, like okay, they're probably gay people that have that are chill and have a good life and are happy, but at the same time, to promote that kind of lifestyle as virtuous or good to kids is it's definitely counter. It's evil. It's not good. You can't say that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. You know what I mean? It's simple. It's pretty. It's not even something you have to think about. It's like, no, what are you guys doing? You know what I mean? Like, and they're doing that shit
yeah,
because they have no soul. They have no backbone. They're sucking the money, and they're literally vampires. And now it shows. Now it shows they'll do anything for some content or some likes. Maybe that's
yeah,
because of the internet or whatever the technology has evolved, but they have no
yeah,
choice. They have to keep making content for their barracks like website or whatever. So they'll do anything. They're like, okay, let's get some trans skaters in here. Oh, let's get some of this. Let's get some of that. And everything is just like it shows now. It shows that it was not never about the skateboarding or the skateboarders. It was more about this like predator that's on the side of skateboarding that's drinking the blood. It's
yeah,
like a leech.
yeah. But at the same time, you remember when we were young, the sexiest graphics were hookups. That was like the kind of gnarly, even
Yeah.
sexy, like painted girls and stuff.
Yeah, my mom didn't
And
want me to have it.
yeah, think of that. Your mom didn't want you to have that, dude.
Yeah.
And
I was like, I
now you
want
can
that
just
board.
get aboard some dude to spreading his butt cheeks.
Yeah, and what is the transgender behind the transgender agenda? It's makeup, so that's chemical industry, the pharmaceutical industry for changing your gender. It's medical industry. It's billions and billions of dollars of industry that they're promoting. It's mental health because some of these people don't know what gender they are now. You know what I mean? So there's so much money and so much evil that's just in the money side, not even talking about the spiritual side. But like they're
Yeah,
compromising all these kids and they're doing this stuff openly. They're allowed to do it. And like I said, when I was a little kid, I was looking at the board with the girl with the big boobs, the hookup board, and I was like,
yeah,
I want that board. My mom was like, no,
Yeah.
you can get this one or whatever, you know.
No, you
But
can
now,
get the butt cheek one, but not the girl one.
yeah, and now it's yeah, exactly. Now it's a completely different story. Like it's the complete opposite. And they don't. That's what I said. They never had a backbone to begin with, so they're just completing the they're just proving the fact that they never were about skateboarding, and the whole industry is just a vampire. So if they blacklisted you before this happened, you can be happy that you're a righteous pro. You should be. You have no reason to feel bad that they did that because they were all pieces of shit from the beginning. You know what I mean? Like they've proven themselves that by all staying
Yeah.
silent,
Yeah.
by not
True.
saying anything. They can just say like the obvious. Everybody, we get canceled because we say the truth. Like, yo, that shit's not okay to teach kids that stuff. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they do it. They do it and they do it openly and they don't care. They have no background and then no backbone. You know what I mean? They have no balls. They're not real men, so they're just
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. They are.
Yeah.
She, man.
Yeah, it's terrible, but it's definitely obvious now. So that's the good side is that now everything's come to light. It just kind of sucks because now the actual money side's going to disappear too because they're just like desperately trying to stay relevant and it's not they're doing bad stuff to do anything they can to stay relevant. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's gonna turn out. The table is gonna turn around on them at some point.
Well, yeah, it's telling somebody that they're something that they're not. It's going along with someone's delusion. It's also pedophilia type thing because if you look at Will Strobeck and his like board company and the stuff that he puts out, it's like a lot of like just looks like real bad stuff. Like they're doing cocaine, they're in New York, they have these like models slash skaters, but they're trans, and he's hanging out with them all the time.
Ooh.
It doesn't look good. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what's going on here? You guys, and he's barely doing
Wow.
it. Yeah, you can look it up right now. It's called Violet Skateboards. It's insane. There's a
I
bunch of
will
them.
skip, dude. Thanks.
That's what I said. It's better not to even know this kind of stuff, but yeah, it's
No,
definitely
no, I don't know, and I don't want to know. Thanks, bro.
yeah. Sorry, I had to tell you,
It's
but
all right, dude.
yeah, it's a whole side industry like involved in it too, and it's just like the Thrasher logo, the Baphomet. I used to think like, oh, cool, that's cool, like
I
yeah.
never liked that logo,
Well, I
dude.
didn't I didn't think about it like that. I was just more like, yeah, Thrasher, yeah. I didn't think that devil worship and all that stuff was real. But now that I'm now like, you know what I mean? At this point, I'm like, wow, it's so obvious. It's so everything's obvious. That's what I mean. It's like super obvious that they're actually
Yeah,
doing
in the
this.
face.
It's funny that a lot of these guys, they for example, they ride for companies that like big corporation companies like Nike when it first came into skateboarding, like they sponsored so many dudes like Daniel Shmizu, Todd Jordan, like random dudes, and
Danny Supa, like many guys, awesome skaters,
yeah,
but
Danny Supa
all categories.
Danny Supa's cool. And I remember that part he put out, I was so surprised by it too. Remember he like switched big spin, heel flip the Newport 9 or some shit. I don't know, I remember that. But what I wanted to say was what I'm trying to get to the point is like now because of the whole like modern or whatever the new woke stuff, they all try to pretend like they're helping people. But like I would admit right now, I actually have a pair of Nikes that my friend gave me who rides for Nike. I won't say his name because I don't want to fuck up with his business. But
Yeah,
they're good shoes, but they're made by slaves in Indonesia. You know what I mean?
yeah.
No, no,
Well,
no, no. Not that that matters, but why would they go out of their way to pretend that they're trying to help people or help kids if they're going to be doing that? You know what I mean? Like Nike, not to say that it's like a predatory company. It comes in and it says like if this skate shop doesn't just carry these certain shoes, they like kick out other companies. You know what I mean? You've seen
yeah,
the business practices. They're real evil business practices, right?
yeah.
So my point is like just recently they're doing a lot of transgender stuff. They did the Black Lives Matter stuff. They did all of these social things that have that now in the last 4 years we've seen what actually happened after they won because Nike was supporting it. Every single company was supporting it. Nike made that competition that do tricks in your house and film yourself during the lockdown. You know what I mean? Remember that?
No, I'm happy I didn't see that.
Well, I know all this stuff because I've been paying attention, but they basically made a competition like, yeah, let's have everybody skate in their house and send in clips. And it's like they did nothing to like say, hey, this lockdown is unconstitutional, it's illegal, it's evil, it's super bad. They just said nothing about that. They've been backing the transgender thing, they've been backing the Black Lives Matter thing. They put up like these little social justice, and then now they do the gay thing. So I mean, they go along with any corporate evil shit that now 4 years into this, look how fucked up and evil everything is. That's why I'm so mad. You know what I mean? My mom lives in San Francisco, bro. Every single street in San Francisco has tents on it. Every single street almost. Huh?
As what?
Tents. People are living in tents everywhere. There's bums
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, yeah.
No, it's the worst thing.
That's going to be the new norm.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Those things are not good. And those are changes that happened within the last 4 years. And every single one of those things is all because of this stuff. Like when we were kids, it was actually the best time to be alive. Now it's like, the stock market, it goes up. That was like when we were kids, like 2000 to 2010 was like the best time. Now it's
Yeah,
going down. Everything.
yeah,
Everything's going down. It's all terrible, and they're teaching kids to chop off their dicks. They're teaching kids to fucking do all this weird shit and compromise themselves before they even know themselves. Like I didn't even know who I was until I was 30, but you know what I mean. Like I said, like I didn't really come into my own mind and know who I really was until I was older than 30 personally. And I just think that having kids do all these weird stuff and promote like doing all the drugs you want is a good thing, or having all the sex and doing all this crazy shit. They don't give anybody any good advice. They actually go with the bad stuff because all
yeah.
those
The
things
opposite.
all those things can fuck up the rest of your life if you take meth. My friend took meth and he never was the same ever again. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
after doing it one time. So instead of what they used to do was give people good advice, like, hey, don't fuck up your life. Hey, look at us. We're Nike. We have good sports stars and everybody's healthy and they're doing, you know what I mean? They're healthy. They're doing active stuff. Now they're promoting the transgender pros. They do all this weird stuff, man. And that's what I'm just trying to say. It's all about money and it's fucked up.
but I think they made up this transgender program for actually mess up the sports for the women's completely.
For women, yeah, exactly. And that's
Yeah,
another thing for women. Think about women. What can women do now? Because that's what I said. The women's equality is now super counterproductive. They put in men with the women. You know what I mean? And it's just, yeah, it's everything they do is bad. Everything they do is bad, and they're promoting evil. And I'm not even saying this as like you can look at it from a biblical spiritual perspective, or you can just look at it from a money perspective. It's just evil. Every single part of it is evil. The
yeah,
pharmaceutical part,
and well planned.
very well planned, and they're all part of it, and they all promote it, and at the same time, the shoes are made by slaves. But the Nike rider, like last week, Nick Bolsario, he like dressed up as a drag queen, and that's fine if he wants to do that. Like, not fine, it's fine if he's an adult, he can do what he wants with his life, and he wants to put it on his Instagram. That's fine, but he's doing that as a Nike pro, and it's like a sports mixed with this like future no gender weird stuff that's not good for anybody, dude. Like
Yeah,
look at the suicide rate of all the people that turn their genders. Look at they're not happy with themselves. They know they're being
tricky.
compromised.
Yeah,
Huh? They're being
yeah,
compromised because they hate themselves. When they go to sleep at night, they're like, well, is this true? Like every corporation is telling you it's a good thing. Every big shoe company is telling you to change your gender. You know what I mean? How
yeah. Like you get a bonus to change your gender.
this is evil, man, and that's like I'm saying, like if we don't speak out about it, then what kind of people are we? And that's all I have to say from
Because
my own
then we
perspective.
don't show the right way for the kids.
Yeah, and I'm like, I would
And
wear Nike.
if we don't show the kids, nobody else will.
Yeah, and they don't like, and the new generation hates the old generation. That's what Marxism is too. They're just like, nah, fuck you, old man. Don't even talk to me. And I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to tell you. Like when I was a kid, I looked up to the older dude. That's why I think
No,
that's
but now
still,
Google came, and you don't need advice from anyone. You can just Google it.
yeah, exactly. But that's
So
not,
that takes away respect for the old elder.
yeah. And Google is basically Satan. So there it is. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you can
because
look
if
at it from
the kids, I noticed that here too. The kids think that they are so much smarter than they actually are because they just know a lot of info from internet, but they have never lived it or put that into practice. They just blindly believe everything. So it's really bad.
hmm yeah, it's extremely bad. You know what I mean? It's almost like that's what I'm trying to say. Like this is exactly what the industry has become, and the industry has exposed itself. You know, they expose themselves all the time. So what they did to you as when you were young, that was only the precursor of what they become now. You know what I mean? And they do it
Yeah,
to
now it
themselves.
must be like 100 times worse.
They do it to themselves all the time. People, my friends who worked for Active, they all got fired. They were telling my friend he was going to become the team manager, and he was working there for like 15 or 20 years. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden they're like, "Oh, never mind, you got fired." They do that shit to themselves all the time. So my friends who are loyal to these companies who worked their whole life there, they don't give a shit about them afterwards, man. They throw them out because
Yep.
they're all psychopathic vampires, dude. And that's what the real truth is. They're exactly like Hollywood. They're almost exactly even worse because it's a smaller industry and we're actually sports people. You know what I mean? It's a sport. It's not even like you're just a model who's like looking pretty and dancing around. They're actually doing sports and they're athletes. They risk their lives, they risk their ankles, they risk their knees. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And everybody they don't give a shit about you at all. And it's an evil mafia at the top of all those companies, unfortunately.
Yep.
So anything that you said in this interview is completely true. I believe you 100%. You know what I mean? So what did you want to
Yeah.
say anything else? I'm going to edit this up right now after this.
No, I'm just gonna say follow sheepless skateboards and keep
What's the
on
new
rocking the free world.
yeah, what's the new company that you're riding for? That's cool.
Yeah, it's major label.
Cool. That's your homies up
Yeah,
there or
they give
what?
me some shapes and stuff. I still want to do my company, but it's in the works. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, you can plug any of your buddies. Just send me the links to the stuff and I'll put it in the description. Like I honestly don't care if people don't buy my boards or anything. I just do that shit as a protest. People are mad that I exist and that's all that matters to me. Because I know nobody's gonna buy my shit, but it doesn't matter. I do that just because it's expensive for me to send the boards across the world. It almost like kills the cost you know what I mean to make it and to send it. It's just like a big kind of big money. So, but I do
Yeah.
like fuck with people's heads. You know, look at that chemtrails.
No, I love all your stuff.
Yeah,
And don't underestimate what you know what you are doing. It can turn around when people are gonna wake up and everybody's like, "Fuck these other guys! They're just trying to steal our
yeah.
money and our talent and like treating the kids bad and making them feel uncomfortable." And then it can be a big turnaround to. I think
Well,
it's all gonna come back to like smaller real things really soon, like it always does. Super big corporated things, and then people get over it, and then they just start to follow the real stuff again.
yeah, no, I was gonna say right now that absolutely. I think I believe you because just like think about the 80s. Remember in the 80s all everybody did their hair like poison and they were like looking super weird. Like they were looking like transgenders in the 80s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now everything's gone a different like the 90s. So this can't even last that long. So, 5 to 10 years more, everyone's already waking up now. So I think it
Yeah,
should
yeah, that's the whole point. They can only use us
like
for
5 to 7 years.
certain time, not even too long. But
No,
the funny
because
thing about
they get bored of their own things, like their little
they
scams.
want to change the next thing and
Yeah,
next
yeah,
thing
yeah.
and
They can't
next
help
thing.
it. They can't help it because people get bored of it. No one's gonna have the same thing forever, and that's the problem. That's why I try to warn kids so that to not change their genders, to not grow titties or fucking take
Yeah,
drugs. You know what I mean? You don't know what's gonna happen to
true.
you.
Yeah, you live your life. You weren't just there sucking somebody's balls.
Yeah. No, I mean, like just cutting off your dick is the most extreme thing you can do in that situation. There's no coming back from that one. So
Yeah, you can't tape it back on.
it's not like a style where you're a goth, that meme where they're like, I was a goth in the 80s, or I was a fucking headbanger, and then the last one is like, I cut off my dick for transgenderism, and then it just shows a grave because that's the end of it. You can't come back and like grow up. You can't grow up once you've gone too far into that lifestyle. You know what I mean? That's the whole problem with it.
Yeah, but then it turns around and you try to brainwash. You're so upset about yourself, and you try to brainwash other people to fuck up their lives too.
And that's how it's gotten so big right now, dude. It's like a religion. They keep bringing more people into their satanic religion, even though they don't even know what they're doing.
Yep.
Crazy, man. Crazy world. Well, anyway, thanks a lot, Yanni, for the conversation.
Hey, thanks a lot too. And after this, try to do a nice edit about this, and then let's interview Flo or somebody, you know, together. Let's start to do together.
That would be dope. Can we put like more people's faces in like the little squares?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, sweet.
Because this seems like a real meeting kind of things. I think this one you can add on like all those dudes who try to hurt me and try to take my soul down. If you don't like what I said and it's 110% truth, give me a call or send me an email and apologize me again. Thank you guys. I can let you apologize and I can accept your apologize and I can forgive you because I'm a real man with balls down.
Yeah, just silences complacency with the rest of the dudes. So people need to come out and at least say what they feel. And that should be natural, but they all keep their mouth shut because they want to keep